Hi, everyone. This is Sam Silverman, Managing Partner of EB5AN. Thank you for taking time to join us for today's webinar. Today, we're going to be discussing our Crestwind Rocky River Rural EB5 Loan Project. This is an ongoing rural project with Form I-956F approval that's already under construction. And we're going to be speaking with Naga from India, an EB5 investor who recently joined the rural Rocky River EB5 project a few months ago and has already received his EAD approval. All right, so to start with, Naga, would you mind introducing yourself and sharing a little bit about your background and your journey to the United States and what kind of led you to explore an EB5 investment for you and your family?
Sure, Sam. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. My name is Nagaraju, and I am from India. I've moved to US in 2016, and since 2016, I was on a H-1B visa. So, as everybody understand that there is a lot of backlog for EB2 and EB3. I'm in EB2, but since it's taking so long time, I decided to go through EB5 route.
Got it. Okay. And as you were exploring EB5, did you consider any other routes as well, or was EB5 kind of the main one that you focused on?
Yeah, I think during COVID times, I have started to look for options, and I have tried the different ways to understand the opportunities that we have, especially since we are from India and since I am born in India. So there were a couple of things that we are exploring, and of all the options, I see EB5 is much more promising. That's what I would say.
Okay, got it. Okay, so once you'd kind of decided that you wanted to pursue an EB5 investment, can you tell us a little bit about your experience finding an immigration attorney to help you through the process? How many attorneys did you consider, interview? Who did you end up hiring, and why? And kind of what was that initial process like of, okay, I want to do EB5, but I'm going to need to hire an attorney to help me document my funds?
Yeah. So it was I would say it was a long journey for us. We had to first understand what EB5 is all about and how do we even qualify for EB5. And once we get the criteria, then how should we even identify the projects, and how should we even identify the related attorneys. So it took us some time to really understand the whole things of options and stuff like that. So we did actually do a lot of research. We had at least 2 to 3 months of time to really understand all those nuances. Finally, when we decided that we have to go with an attorney, the first thing that we wanted to do is someone who is from India and has some background with like even from the cultural standpoint, and even from our understanding and the struggle that we go through, especially in H-1Bs and stuff like that. So we wanted to closely align to even the immigration attorneys who have that experience. And luckily, when we found the attorney, we just stick with the attorney, and then we just moved on with the attorney.
Okay, got it. Okay. And which attorney did you end up hiring to help you?
Yeah, so we went with Anahita George. She's also from India, but she's now in US. She's a citizen now, so she knows how the journey is and how journey. So she was able to help us with we had, and we had a lot of questions, and help us navigate through all those you know questions and help us clarify. And once she gave us clarity, we just went by her advice. So it's like um, she is the guiding for us. She has become more of a how we have to go and what we have to choose, how we should evaluate. So a lot of things we have discussed, and she was very helpful with all those um, responses.
Okay. And just approximately how many attorneys did you speak with in total before you decided to hire Anahita to help you?
I would say we did speak with 3 to 4 attorneys before we finalized on Anahita George.
Okay. And now that you've gone through that process, you filed your application, can you tell us a little bit about what that experience was like in terms of gathering all the documents and organizing the file? And yeah, just how was that process? Was it very long, time intensive, organized? Yeah, just how was it after you decided to hire the attorney, between hiring the attorney and then filing your application, what happened?
Oh yeah, it was not so easy for us since we are from India. There is a lot of homework that we have to do in terms of medicals, in terms of funds, in terms of organizing all the documents. There is even a lot of certificates. So there is quite a large amount of work that we have to do. Homework. It's not that easy. Once we started, slowly one after the other, we had to do, and everything took its own sweet time, I would say. It's not that easy because getting documents from India and getting it fast is not that simple. So we had to go through a lot of uh, rigor to get all the documents in place. And I would say like some of them there were also times where we have to pause because those documents were not there, so we have to wait for those documents. But once the documents has arrived and once we have made sure all the information is available, things took off very fast. I think the whole effort for us is getting all the documents ready. But once we have all the documents ready, from that time it was like super fast. Like the immigration attorney took it very fast. I mean, she was able to do it. Uh, uh, I think within few weeks we were able to get all the things done.
Got it. Okay. All right. And so, having just gone through that process, what suggestions or advice would you have for other, similar Indian EB-5 investors in terms of, picking an attorney to help with their application?
Sure. I would suggest there is a lot of homework to do. It's not about just a source of funds or not only just an individual preparation. There's a lot of documentation and a lot of homework to decide on which project and which attorney to choose, and put everything in order. Make sure those things are available, and uh, especially when immigration attorney has an audit kind of a question, should be able to respond it fast. So it's all I would say like a planning kind of a thing. You have to plan it so that things would even if something is not there or not available, there are people to help you, like attorneys, immigration attorneys, and even EB5 Central, like yours. So there's a lot of to and fro that happens. But once you start the journey and once the documents are there, then it should be fast.
Okay, so now that we've spoken about the immigration attorney component of the application, let's change gears and discuss a little bit more about the regional center and about the project. So can you share a little bit of information about, from your perspective, what made you decide to go with EB5AN and Coulter as the developer of the Rocky River project? Once you'd had a chance to, do some diligence on different projects and regional centers. Maybe to start with, let's talk about the regional centers first, and then we can talk about the projects.
Sure. So when we started to understand the importance of EB5 centers, we tried to understand different projects under each in EB5 centers that they are executing. And once we went through a lot of screening, so once we are confident that EB5AN has much more of history and repayments, identifying the projects under EB5AN. So we did actually look at a lot of investors' profiles. Why did they choose EB5AN? And also the documentations that they have provided. So these are the important things that it actually made us to narrow down on EB5AN.
Okay, great. And just in terms of the regional centers, like the attorneys, how many different regional centers did you chat with, and what were some of the differences that you saw, across the different regional center companies in terms of documentation, ability to access information, answering questions? How did that differ from your perspective?
Yeah, so we actually try to see any EB5 center which is close to us initially, but then the projects that they are undertaking were not so I would say didn't provide us much confidence for us. So it was more of a documentation that was not so helpful for us to really make a decision. So all these factors really played a part in our choices. And when we looked at EB5AN, they're much more rigor. There is much more of information that they were able to share faster. So, and it's also important for us to make decisions faster because everything is kind of ready, and EB5AN seems to be more closer to what we are looking for.
Got it. Okay, so shifting now to the specific project. So when you were considering potential projects for investment, rural projects, non-rural projects, what were some of the most important things for you, when you compared the Rocky River project versus, some of the other projects that you considered?
Sure. So once we decided on EB5AN, the second we have decided is on the group that is executing this projects. So we found Coulter Group with good record. So we narrowed down on the Coulter Group, and within the Coulter Group, we try to see different projects. Interestingly, Coulter Group has already done a good job in Twin Lakes. So that was our template for us. And then when we started to compare Twin Lakes with Rocky River, we kind of understood that both projects are similar. It's only just it's just a new project that's coming up. So we decided to choose Rocky River because it's the same template as Twin Lakes.
Got it. Okay. And how important was the fact that the Rocky River project, like Twin Lakes, is in a rural TEA area? Like, how important was investing in a rural project for you when you made the decision about a project?
So once we decided on projects, I think the other important thing is to choose between urban, TA, and rural. Out of all these three, we thought rural would be more ideal suited for us, because we have a specific criteria that we wanted to meet. And once we have narrowed down on all these, I think Rocky River was more aligned to what our requirement and needs are, and it perfectly suited us. I think it is the right time that we started on Rocky River project.
Got it. Okay. And in terms of the project activities itself, obviously Rocky River is building single family homes and selling them, whereas many of the other EB5 rural projects are hotels and resorts, other larger projects like that. What about the single family homes, for retirement, was attractive for you compared with, let's say doing a hotel resort project? Like what kind of made you feel more comfortable with single family homes versus, the hotel ski resort type project?
Yeah, good question. So I think different projects has different ways of funding. But when I closely compared Twin Lakes and Rocky River, which are like very similar. So Twin Lakes, which has been a phased approach, is much more compelling for us because it's not investing all the amount in one shot and then trying to evaluate things at a later point in time. These projects are happening at a phased level. So each and every phase, what's the progress, and every phase, how many homes are being developed, and then how many homes are getting sold. So it's something that is gradual, and it's not a full blown investment into the projects and then waiting for something to happen. This is more of a slow and steady kind of process where we thought we should be here, so that things will move according to even the U6 one. So it's also about the timing between U6 and the projects being executed.
Got it. Okay. And once you decided that you wanted to join the Rocky River project, what was it like working with the EB5AN team, to make sure that the joining process, transferring the money, coordinating with the attorney, how was that process like, once you decided you wanted to go forward with the Rocky River project?
I would say it was very smooth. All these documentation related to EB5AN and Rocky River documentation, and then signing offs and all those things. I think it just happened within a week, which is very, I would say, like very important, because once everything is ready, these things, if we have any delays, that would add up. But once we decided, EB5AN team was just working day and night with us, and they were able to give us documentations, and then to and fro was too fast and too smooth, and we didn't really had to follow up or do anything. It was just seamless for us. Everything happened in no time.
Great. All right. And just when making the final decision to invest in the project, how important was the transparency in terms of financial statements and access to sales data and just information about the guarantor company, the balance sheet, all that kind of detailed financial information? How important was that, and transparency to all the available information in terms of making your decision to invest?
I would say the documentation is pretty extensive. So we had to do kind of understanding. I mean, since it's all financial information and a lot of documentation, it's not necessary that everybody understands the jargons. But somehow EB5AN team was able to help when we asked a lot of questions. EB5 team was able to respond to us with with the clarifications. So these are all important because not everybody knows the financial jargon of those documents because they are huge and someone has to help them understand. So EB5AN team was very helpful to make us understand what what these areas of finances go in and where our investment goes in and how escrow works and all those details.
Okay, great. All right. And so, now that you've gone through the process, you've hired the attorney, prepared the documents, filed the application, picked the project, what advice would you have for other, similar H-1B Indian investors, who are already in the US and are considering EB-5? Like, what are the 2 or 3 kind of main pieces of advice that you would share, having just gone through that process successfully?
Sure. I think there's a lot of preparedness for this kind of EB5 visa investment. So you have to be prepared, and your family has to be prepared. Everybody has to be aligned. It's like a common goal for everyone. And once you have that preparedness, I think the second thing is identifying based on your requirement, because every requirement is different. I would say based on your requirements, you should go and start looking at different projects and different attorneys, and then get to narrow down those information, and then make sure that your needs and your requirements are also aligned with the EB5 center and even the attorney. So the communications, when they happen, there is no gaps, right? So once you have all these finalized and once these things have been closed, then things should just flow off. It's more of you just following some of the guidances from there on. For us, I mean, I would say like it was a happy path for us, that we have chosen EB5AN and Anahita George as an attorney, which has made our job much more simpler. It's not all. I think all we had to do is supply with the documentation, and rest was taken care by this team. So I would strongly recommend anybody to go with EB5AN and Anahita George for immigration attorney requirements that they have.
Got it. All right, great. All right. Yeah, I don't have any other questions, Naga. Thank you very much for taking some time to share your experience. We greatly appreciate your time and obviously the trust and faith you've put in EB5AN, Anahita, and also with Coulter in terms of the Rocky River Rural Project. So yeah, thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.